and welcome to Iquitos, here in the heart of the Peruvian Amazon. This is the second plaza in the city center here of Iquitos, where you can feed the pigeons, and we can have a quick look at the motocarros parked here. These are the main form of transportation in the city. I assume they're constructed here in Iquitos because we are completely disconnected from the rest of Peru by road. Most tourists come here by air. Otherwise, if you're going to import any cars or anything like that, then they've got to come all the way up and down the rivers from the main part of Peru, which is many days away by boat. So yeah, Iquitos is very much one of the most disconnected cities in the world in that respect. Yeah, this is the beginning of the Malecon, which borders the town, main part of the town here, looking to the east, and then to the south. This street goes all the way down to Belén Market further down, and yeah, the kind of feeling of the street does change pretty quickly from this point on. So the north and the Malecon, we get these old colonial buildings. Some of them are now converted into army buildings, and museums are around here as well, anthropological museums, indigenous culture museums. Further up the Malecon, here's a nice old-fashioned restaurant we ate in last night. More army, and yep, cadets are cleaning the roads, which is nice. Here on the boulevard, nice buildings leading up to the Plaza de Armas straight ahead, and this giant hotel here with a rooftop bar and disco if you're into that. This is the main plaza, Plaza de Armas of Iquitos. Not a huge amount going on here, to be honest. It's a disused building here. The main landmark is this now restaurant. It was apparently designed by Mr. Gustave Eiffel himself of Eiffel Tower fame. I don't think he physically came all the way here, which would have been a heck of a journey back in the 19th century, but he constructed the parts, put them in some kind of 19th century IKEA flat pack equivalent, and they shipped it over here and put it together. And here it is, just getting ready for dinner time a bit later. This grand old building, I think it was originally a market. So around here, between Plaza de Armas and the boulevard up ahead, you'll find travel agents. This is the main tourist area of the city. It's quite small, in fact. I actually expected it to be more touristy than this, because I thought Iquitos was like the heart of, Amazon tourism. This is only the second kind of Amazon destination I've been to in South America. The first was Rurrenabaque in Bolivia last year. That was actually more touristy than here. It was very kind of backpackery vibe, whereas this is more of a working city, a little bit rough and ready, being cut off in here in the Amazon. And there are tourists here, but it's not quite as packed out as I was expecting. Most of them are in this area again. Some backpacker cafes. There's another one to the left here, Dawn on the Amazon, but it's not quite backpacker haven I was expecting. Maybe it's because it's still a little bit rainy at the moment. Next month is July. I think August, September is definitely more dry season here. Perhaps it gets busier then. It's the large hotel, and here's your kind of backpacker bars, cafes. Here's the real boulevard. There's a little auditorium up ahead where you can see some local entertainment at night, and fantastic views of the, looks like a lake. It is in fact a tributary river of the Amazon, which connects up to the Amazon just north of town, up ahead there. Iquitos is also said to be the world's leading center of ayahuasca retreats and centers. Yeah, if you're into that, it is legal because it's classed as an indigenous medicine. And if you're asking a few of the local backpackery cafes, hotels, hostels, everyone can get you more information about that. From what I've seen, there are multiple options, so please do your research wisely. This 1906 steamboat houses a museum charting the era's rubber boom and enslavement of indigenous people. Also brought to life in the infamous 1982 German film Fitzcarraldo,
shot here in Iquitos.
It must be said it is rather charming here on the boulevard, here for sunset. If you're lucky and the clouds open, you get an amazing sunrise here over this tributary river as well. Again, leading up to the Amazon River to the north. And I do find the town rather charming at times as well. There's lots of youngsters out in the street everywhere, up to no good, as youngsters should be doing at that age, in my opinion. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of late 20th century, young people out and about, having fun in the streets. Everyone mixes around here, especially at night in this auditorium, as we'll see later. But of course, while you're here, you probably want to get out and explore the Amazon River and jungle itself. You've basically got two main options. You either go with a tour, or you try and do it yourself. We actually did the second option, going up to Port Nanai and negotiating with the boatman to take us around. So it might end up being a little bit cheaper, but you will be paying in drips and drabs everywhere you go. Every stop you make, you have to pay more, so the prices may be a bit of a surprise. Or you go on the tours and they take care of everything for you, and you get a nice set price and get taken care of much better. Nice and quiet on the boulevard this morning. The sun out. First time I've had sun in the morning here. Famous sunrise of Iquitos.
First up, we barter for a cheap mystery tour with the local boatman to some tourist sites north of Iquitos.
This is Nanai port in the north of Iquitos. It's all pretty quiet now, but when you arrive it might not be so quiet when you get multiple boat guys all trying to get your business at once, so be prepared. So this is the Nanai port. We're thankfully just about to leave. It's a big scrum of guys there when you arrive. It's going on some kind of river expedition adventure, surely.
Comestible por el motivo que no tiene un sabor agradable. Solamente es apto poder comerla cuando tiene un metro. Empezamos por aquí. De los ríos, tanto como Cochas o tanto como río Amazonas.
This is the gourami manicure. So you get these in Thailand as well, in the tourist areas.
Pero cuando ya está un tamaño de ustedes, ahí sí. Sobre la taricaya, lo que es muy común es comerla tanto como a ella.
There we go. Just like to apologize on behalf of my species for everything we've done to you and your kind. That's it. Jumper. We've got a jumper. This is electric eel.
Sí.
I've been chosen to. You know what I'm going to do. Here we go.
Sí.
Yeah.
Sí, sí,
It's
sí.
like about the same strength as a electric fence you get in the farmyards of England. Yeah, it's okay.
The shock from these much larger electric eels are said to be substantially more shocking.
esquinas, ¿sí? Hasta que nos terminamos. Son parecido y sus alimentaciones son de frutas, insectos, son de frutas o arcillas. Caparazón parece una seca y estas son las tortugas, son como los gatos montes, como los gatos silváticos, hasta este de agua de sandía, de plátano, pifollo, la hembra muere no como la persona, si muere una muere de los dos. Y sus alimentación son la tierra lenta, ¿no? La y el caparazón.
Okay, we have just come to the point where the River Nanay near Iquitos has met the mother of all rivers on the planet. This is the River Amazon behind me. You can see it is absolutely huge. Ahead of the boat here, it's raining a little bit. It feels more like a lake than a river. So it's kind of heading that direction, I believe, to the north slightly. As everyone knows, this is the biggest river in the world by volume. I think the Nile is slightly longer from its source to its mouth, but this really is the biggest river on the planet by volume. Countless tributaries all the way through. I think its source is, furthest point from the mouth is somewhere in Peru, in the Andes. We're here right in the middle of the Peruvian Amazon, just here on the edge of Iquitos. This is the River Amazon. It's currently June here, so I think it's the end of the rainy season. It should be the dry season now, so the river level is pretty high. I believe it does drop quite a few meters if you are here later on in the dry season, all the way down to like October, I think it ends. So yeah, we just did a little boat trip from here at Nanay Port. Ahead of us is this which goes over the river. On the map though, it just carries on to some little villages. I guess there's some expansion plans going on perhaps, because it's a very huge, impressive looking, expensive bridge. Anyway, yeah, we just did that river tour. It's obviously very touristy, as you would have seen from the video. Everything's laid out as 3 different indigenous villages. I'm not sure if they live there or not, or just turn up and put the costumes on, but yes, a lot of money was spent in a short amount of time, about 200 soles in about 20-30 minutes for dances and jewelry, which I had to buy. Well, I didn't have to, but I did. Did the fish place and the zoo, which was obviously these zoos and human indigenous villages could be possibly taken in bad taste, could be morally questionable, but don't worry, I believe they are making good money from it. Having said that, yeah, it was kind of interesting. Get a little slice of life. As much of a slice of life as you can get in 20 minutes as a tourist. Welcome to Belén Market, the #1 Amazonian market in the Amazon. Welcome to Iquitos Passage.
Para el hombro, para la conversión, los ojos, los pies, los ojos de la mano.
That is the end of Belén Market. It's a bit of a labyrinth in there, but I read some reviews saying it was a bit dangerous and it smells like hell, but it seemed fine to me, so don't worry, get involved. It's a regular market for local people. Engine problems.
Our second boat trip will take us much further downstream along the mighty Amazon River.
Try not to fall over, but just ahead of me you will see the delineation of the River Nanay that we're now on, and just 20 meters ahead is the River Amazon itself. Brown colour, all the sediment from upriver, I assume. And we're on the bluer Nanay River now, about to cross. As you can see, where those leaves are in the water, a very clear line between the River Nanay here, the clearer water, and the Amazon with all the sediment in the brown. There it is, crossing right now.
Cuando ese verano, todos los deliveries aquí, acá vienen al desierto, va todo el fuego y acá es.
So right now, we really are on the River Amazon, for sure.
With vegetables, with food, with chicken, with meat, with eggs. There. You didn't cut chickens?
Yeah, it's underneath, yeah. It's at the bottom.
Okay. Transition to become friendly or not. Already he's sometimes mean. Oh. As you can see, he's still being a baby, so we mostly taking care of him most part of his life here. Another fake rescue centers are like the way how they force the monkeys to interact with humans, which is really awful. They don't feed the monkeys the entire day or until some visitors arrive and try to interact, and then the same owners force the people to buy food. The thing about Pedro is like he's a wild monkey. He's 6 years old. Entonces, lo primero es que ellos sobrevivan a lo que nosotros los rescatamos y les empecemos a desintoxicar, que sobrevivan. He is Benny. He came here when he was 1 week of birth.
So you guys are friends?
Yeah, I was in church and he never let me sleep well.
Oh.
When he was small.
You can see the width of the river is immense, like 1 or 2 kilometers wide. And so we've had a sighting of a pink dog. Ahí.
¿Salió?
Sí. 2 veces. Más.
Medio.
Derecho. Maria.
Ahí viene.
You can only imagine the width of the Amazon as you get further down into Brazil. The volume of water here is absolutely immense.
Wow. No hace nada. Ay, no.
No, lo voy a poner ahí en el piso.
Ay, no. No viene para acá, anda rápido.
No.
It's a boa constrictor. Wow. This is one of, I'm sure, countless thousands tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of little villages on the edge of the Amazon and its many tributaries. If you go on these boat trips, you're sure to stop along quite a few of these to see animals in cages or whatever else is going on.